Hi everyone, so glad that you're here and I'm so excited to show you some of the newest releases from Usborne Books and More. This is one of our favorites so far. It's called Here and There and it takes you all around the world to show you different customs and traditions in different countries. My daughter and I just started reading this one last night. We were super interested to find out that in the Netherlands, some children get to school on a bike bus. How cool is that? And in Indonesia, how they shop from boats at a market. And it does also show some things about what we do here. And we got in a great discussion about our books are distributed all over the world in many, many different languages. So there may be children in Indonesia reading this book saying, wow, how interesting that kids in the United States shop in a grocery store. We're used to shopping off boats. One of my very favorite picture books in this new release is Ava's Spectacular Spectacles. This one is perfect for a child that needs to wear glasses or is just feeling a little bit different from their peers in some other way. There's Ava. She doesn't want to put on her glasses. But her teacher has a really great idea, and she tells Ava about a lot of her favorite characters from her favorite stories and how those stories might have turned out differently if those children wore their glasses. So, Hansel and Gretel, if they'd worn their glasses, they probably wouldn't have gotten lost on the way to Grandma's house. Humpty Dumpty, if he'd worn his glasses, he might not have fallen off the wall in the first place. So at the end, after hearing all of these different characters, of course, Ava decides she'll put on her glasses after all. Another great picture book in our collection is called Boy. Boy lives in medieval times, and Boy is deaf, and it talks about how he talks with dancing hands. I love that description. But in his village, everybody is fighting. There's a dragon, and there's knights, and everybody is fighting all the time. Let's get to a fighting. There we go. Fighting all the time, and Boy can't hear the noise. He doesn't really understand, and nobody really quite understands what he's doing with these dancing hands. But one day he runs right into the middle of their fight, and he writes in the ground, "Why are you fighting?" And he draws some pictures, and everybody kind of comes to an understanding and says, "I don't really know why we're fighting in the first place." And then everybody says thank you at the end with their dancing hands. So such a neat story. Love that one. Usborne has Lift the Flap books for all ages, but our series for the youngest children is called Lift the Flap Questions and Answers and includes awesome titles such as What is Poop? My personal favorite. What are germs? How can I see? And our latest release is What are stars? As is true of all of our Lift the Flap books, the flaps are very durable, the pages are super bright and engaging with tons of flaps for children to lift and explore. Can I visit a star? No. Definitely not. How many stars are there? More than there are grains of sand on a beach. So many things to learn and explore in this book, What Are Stars? Super fun new addition to our board book collection in this release is Baby's very first tractor book. We also have a bus, but both of these books are books as well as rolling vehicles. How fun is that? They are super durable and sturdy, super bright colors, very engaging for little ones. And this one also includes a lot of different farm animals. So if you have an animal lover or a vehicle lover, this one is sure to be a hit. Another super fun new title, My First Drumming Book. This is so cool. Never seen anything like it. But it has 5 different percussion instruments at the bottom, and it introduces all of them as you play, and as you go, the progression goes so that you're actually playing drum patterns along with the music, and you'll see the options for music over here. So just to give you an example, let's go to the one with music. B, you press B, you'll hear the drum pattern first, and then the music kicks in, and you're supposed to try to keep up with the drum pattern. Clearly I need some practice, but my son is loving this one. I have a 10-year-old son, and he's really able to get some of the rhythms going. My 4-year-old just loves to push all the buttons and make up her own music, of course, and my 7-year-old is somewhere in between. So I love titles that will appeal to all 3 of the kiddos in my house. Finally, Where's Jane? If you are a Jane Austen fan, this one is definitely for you to start introducing your daughters or sons to these amazing stories. Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Emma, and what's fun, great fun, we also have a Shakespeare book similar to this and a ballerina book, but it gives you a little description of the plot, and then up here at the top you'll see these are all the characters that you're supposed to find on the next page. So you go to the next page with the scene, and then Where's Waldo style, you go through and try to find all of those people. And then Jane Austen is also hidden on every page as well as her dog. So these are great fun. My daughters love these for before bedtime. Which one of these new titles are you most excited about? Drop a comment below and then head on over to our next post. I'll see you there.